Fiddler on the Roof. Sounds crazy, no? But here in our little village of Anatevka, you might say that every one of us is like a fiddler on the roof, trying to scratch out a pleasant, simple tune without breaking his neck. It isn't easy. You may ask, why do we stay up there if it's so dangerous? We stay because Anatevka is our home. And how do we keep our balance? That I can tell you in one word. Tradition!
Tradition! Tradition!
Tradition!
Tradition! Tradition! Tradition!
Because of our traditions, we've kept our balance for many, many years. Here in Anatevka, we have traditions for everything. How to eat, how to sleep, how to wear clothes. For instance, we always keep our heads covered, and we always wear a little prayer shawl. This shows our constant devotion to God. You may ask, how did that tradition start? I'll tell you. I don't know. But it's a tradition. And because of our traditions, everyone knows who he is and what God expects him to do.
Who day and night must scramble for a living, feed a wife and children, say his daily prayers, and who has a right as master of the house to have the final word at home. The Papa! The Papa! Tradition! The Papa! The Papa! Tradition!
Who must know the way to make a proper home, a quiet home, a kosher home? Who must raise a family and run the home, so Papa's free to read the holy book?
The Mama! The Mama! Tradition! The Mama! The Mama! Tradition!
At 3 I started Hebrew school, at 10 I learned a trade. I hear they picked a bride for me, I hope she's pretty.
The sons! The sons! Tradition! The sons! The sons! Tradition!
And who does Mama teach to mend and tend and fix, preparing me to marry whoever comes up fits?
The daughters! The daughters!
I have 5 daughters.
Tradition! The daughters! The daughters! Tradition! Day and night, as trees I started to work schools and I hear they picked a bride for me, I hope she's pretty. Tradition! The sons! The sons! Tradition!
And in the circle of our little village, we've always had our special types. For instance, enter the matchmaker.
Avram, I have the perfect match for your son, a wonderful girl.
Who is it?
Rachel, the shoemaker's daughter.
Rachel, but she can hardly see. She's almost blind.
Tell the truth, Avram, is your son so much to look at? The way she sees and the way he looks, it's a perfect match.
And Nahum the beggar.
Alms for the poor, alms for the poor.
Here at Nahum, here's 1 kopeck.
1 kopeck? But last week you gave me 2 kopecks.
I had a bad week.
So, if you had a bad week, why should I suffer?
And most important, our beloved rabbi.
Rabbi, may I ask you a question?
Certainly, my son.
Is there a proper blessing for the Tsar?
A blessing for the Tsar? Of course. May God bless and keep the Tsar far away from us.
Then there are others in our village. They have a much bigger circle. His Honor the Constable, His Honor the Priest, His Honor, and many others. We don't bother them, and so far they don't bother us. And among ourselves, we get along perfectly well. Of course, there was a time when he sold him a horse and he delivered a mule, but that's all settled now. Now we live in simple peace and harmony.
It was a horse.
It was a mule.
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 Horse, mule, horse, mule, horse, mule, horse, mule.
Tradition, 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 tradition.
Tradition. Without our traditions, our lives would be as shaky as a fiddler on the roof.
Mama, where should we put these?
Put them on my head. By the stove, foolish girl. Where's Hava?
She's in the barn milking. When will Papa be home?
It's almost Sabbath, and a lot he worries when he'll be home. All day long, riding on top of his wagon like a prince.
Mama, you know that Papa works hard.
His horse works harder. And you don't have to defend your papa to me. I know him longer than you. He could drive a person crazy. He should only live and be well. Sprinter, bring me some more potatoes. Hava, have you finished milking?
Yes, Mama.
You've been reading again. Now, why does a girl have to read? Will it get her a better husband?
Mama, Yenta's coming. She's down the road.
Oh, maybe she's finally found a match for you, Zeidel.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Why does she have to come now? It's almost Sabbath.
Go finish in the barn. I want to talk to Yenta alone.
Mama, can I go outside and play?
Your feet go.
Can I go too?
Go too.
But Mama, the men she finds, the last one was so old and he was bald. He had no hair.
A poor girl without a dowry cannot afford to be so particular. You want hair? Marry a monkey.
After all, Mama, I'm not yet 20 years old.
Stop! Why must you boast about your age? Do you want to tempt the evil eye? Inside, go.
Golda, darling!
Ah.
I had to see you because I have such news for you. And not just every day in the week news, once in a lifetime news. Where are your daughters? Outside? No? Good. Oh, such diamonds, such jewels. And you'll see, I'll find every one of them a husband. But you shouldn't be so picky. Even the worst husband, God forbid, is better than no husband. God forbid. And who should know better than me? Ever since my husband died, I've been a poor widow, alone. No one to talk to, nothing to say to anyone. Ugh, it's no life. All I do at night is think of him, and even thinking of him gives me no pleasure because you know as I, he wasn't much of a person, never made a living, everything he touched turned to mud, but better than nothing.
Good evening. Is Zeidel in the house?
But she's busy. Come back later.
There's something I'd like to tell her.
Later.
Oh, Muddle, I thought I heard you.
Finish what you were doing. Later.
Later.
And what does that poor little tailor mortal want with Zeidel?
Oh, they've been friends since they were babies together. They talk, they play.
They play? What do they play?
Well, who knows? They're just children.
From such children come other children.
That Muttle, he's a
nothing. Yenta, you said you had news.
Ah, children, children. They are a blessing in your old age. Of course, my Aaron couldn't give me children. Believe me, he was as good as gold, never raised his voice to me, but otherwise not much of a man. So what good is it that he never raised his voice? But what's the use of complaining? Some women enjoy complaining, but not Yenta. Not every woman in the world is a Yenta. Well, I must prepare my poor Sabbath table. So goodbye, Golda, and it was a pleasure talking our hearts out to one another.
But Yenta, you said you had news.
Oy, I am losing my head. One day it will fall off altogether, a horse will kick it through the mud, and goodbye, Yenta. Of course, the news. It's about Lazer Wolf, the butcher. A good man, a fine man, and I don't have to tell you he's well off. But he's lonely, poor man. You understand, of course you do. To make it short, out of the whole town, he's cast his eyes on Zeitel.
My Zeitel?
No, the Tsar's Zeitel. Of course your Zeitel.
Such a match for my Zeitel. Oh, but Tevye wants a learned man. He doesn't like Lazer.
Listen to me, Golda. Send Tevye to him. Don't tell him what it's about. Let Lazer discuss it himself. He'll win him over, you'll see. He's a good man, a wealthy man. True? True. So you don't have to thank me. You'll tell me how it went. And aside from my fee, which anyway Lazer will pay, it gives me satisfaction to make people happy. It what better satisfaction is there, huh? Hey, so goodbye, Golda, and you're welcome.
What did she want, Mama?
When I want you to know, I'll tell you. Finish washing the floor.
I wonder if Yenta found a husband for you. I'm not anxious for Yenta to find me a husband. Not unless it's Model the tailor. I didn't ask you.
Zeitel, you're the oldest. They have to make a match for you before they can make one for me. And then after her, one for me. So if Yenta brings you...
Oh, Yenta.
Well, somebody has to arrange the matches. Young people can't decide these things for themselves. She might bring someone wonderful. Someone interesting. Well off. And important. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Matchmaker, matchmaker, look through your book and make me a perfect match. Matchmaker, matchmaker, I'll bring the veil. You bring the groom, slender and pale. Bring me a ring, for I'm longing to be the envy of all I see. For Papa, make him a scholar. For Mama, make him rich as a king. For me, well, I wouldn't holler if he were as handsome as anything. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Night after night in the dark, I'm alone, so find me a match of my own.
Since when were you interested in a match, Hava? I thought you only had your eye on your books. And you, Huddle, you have your eye on the rabbi's son.
Why not? We only have one rabbi, and he only has one son.
Because
Why shouldn't I want the best?
Because you're a girl from a poor family, so whatever Yenta brings, you'll take, right? Of course, right. Huddle, oh Huddle, have I made a match for you? He's handsome, he's young, all right, he's 62, but he's a nice man, a good catch, true? True. I promise you'll be happy, and even if you're not, there's more to life than that. Don't ask me what. Hava, I found him, will you be a lucky bride? He's handsome, he's tall, that is from side to side, but he's a nice man, a good catch, right? Right, you heard he has a temper, he'll beat you every night, but only when he's sober, so you're all right. Did you think you'd get a prince? Well, I do the best I can, with no dowry, no money, no family background. Be glad you got a man.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, you know that I'm still very young, Up to this minute, I misunderstood that I could get stuck for good. Dear Yenta, see that he's gentle. Remember, you were also a bride. It's not that I'm sentimental. It's just that I'm terrified. Matchmaker, matchmaker, plan me no plans. I'm in no rush. Maybe I've learned playing with matches, a girl can get burned. So bring me no ring, groom me no groom, find me no find, catch me no catch, unless he's a matchless match.
Today, I am a horse. Dear God, did you have to make my poor old horse lose a shoe just before the Sabbath? That wasn't nice. It's enough. You pick on me, Tevye. Bless him with 5 daughters and a life of poverty. But what have you got against my horse? You know, sometimes I think when things are too quiet up there, you say to yourself, let's see, what sort of mischief can I play on my friend Tevye?
Ah! You're finally here, my breadwinner.
I'll talk to you later.
Where is your horse?
He was invited to the blacksmith for the Sabbath.
Oh, well, hurry up. The sun won't wait for you. I have something to say to you.
As the good book says, send us the cure. We've got the sickness already. I'm not really complaining. After all, with your help, I'm starving to death. I realize you made many, many poor people. It's no great shame to be poor, but it's no great honor either. So what would have been so terrible if I had a small fortune? If I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy-biddy-bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a bitty-bitty rich, deedle-diddle man, I'd build a big tall house with rooms by the dozens right in the middle of the town. A fine tin roof with real wooden floors below. There would be one long staircase just going up, and one even longer coming down, and one more leading nowhere just for show. I'd fill my yard with chicks and turkeys and geese and ducks for the town to see and hear, squawking just as noisily as they can. And each loud quack and a boom and a boom and a honk would land like a trumpet on the ear, as if to say, here lives a wealthy man. If I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy-biddy-bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a bitty-bitty rich, deedle-diddle man, I see my wife, my Goldie, looking like a rich man's wife with a proper double chin, supervising meals to her heart's delight. I see her putting on airs and strutting like a peacock. Oi, what a happy mood she's in. Screaming at the the servants day and night. The most important men in town will come to fawn on me. They will ask me to advise them, like a Solomon the Wise. If you please, Rebetevia. Pardon me, Rebetevia, posing problems that would cross a rabbi's eyes. And it won't make one bit of difference if I answer right or wrong. When you're rich, they think you really know. If I were rich, I'd have the time that I lack to sit in the synagogue and pray. Maybe have a seat by the eastern wall. I would discuss the holy books with the learned men 7 hours every day. This would be the sweetest thing of all. If I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy-biddy-bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Lord, who made the lion and the lamb, you decreed I should be what I am. Would it spoil some vast eternal plan? If I were a wealthy man.
There he is. You forgot my order for the Sabbath.
Red Mortka, I had a little accident with my horse.
Tevye, you didn't bring the rabbi's order.
I know, Red Mandel.
Tevye, forgot my order for the Sabbath.
This is bigger news than the plague in Odessa.
Talking about news, terrible news in the outside world, terrible.
What is it?
What does it say?
In a village called Rajanka, all the Jews have been evicted, forced to leave their homes.
For what reason?
It doesn't say. Maybe the Tsar wanted their land, maybe a plague.
May the Tsar have his own personal plague. Amen.
Why don't you ever bring us some good news?
I only read it. It was an edict from the authorities.
May the authorities start itching in places that they can't reach. Amen.
And why do you curse them? What good does your cursing do? You all stand around, you curse and you chatter, and you don't do anything. You'll all chatter your way into the grave.
Excuse me, you're not from this village.
No.
And where are you from?
Kiev. I was a student at the university there.
Aha! The university. Is that where you learn to criticize your elders?
It's where I learned there's more to life than talk. You should know what's going on in the outside world.
Why should I break my head about the outside world? Let them break their own heads.
He's right. As the good book says, if you spit in the air, it lands in your face.
That's nonsense. You can't close your eyes to what's happening in the world.
He's right.
He's right and he's right? How can both be right?
You know, you are also right.
He's right. He's still wet behind the ears. Good Sabbath, Tevye.
Good Sabbath, Morton.
Good Sabbath, David.
Good Sabbath. Good Sabbath, Red Tevye. Good Sabbath.
Tevye, the rabbi's order, my cheese?
Of course. So, you are from Kiev, Reb
Perchik.
Perchik. You are a newcomer here. As Abraham said, I am a stranger in a strange land.
Moses said that.
Forgive me. As King David put it, I am slow of speech and slow of tongue.
That was also Moses.
For a man with a slow tongue, he talked a lot.
And the cheese?
Here. Have a piece.
I have no money, and I'm not a beggar.
Here, it's a blessing for me to give.
Very well. For your sake.
Thank you. You know, it's no crime to be poor.
In this world, it is the rich who are the criminals. Someday, their wealth will be ours.
That would be nice. If they would agree, I would agree.
And who made this miracle come to pass?
People. Ordinary people.
Like you?
Like me.
Nonsense.
And until your golden day comes, Reb Perchik, how will you live?
By giving lessons to children. Do you have children?
I have 5 daughters.
5.
Daughters.
Girls should learn too. Girls are people.
A radical.
I would be willing to teach them, open their minds to great thoughts.
What great thoughts?
The Bible has many lessons for our times.
I'm a very poor man. Food for lessons? Good. Stay with us for the Sabbath. We don't eat like kings, but we don't starve either. As the good book says, when a poor man eats a chicken, one of them is sick.
Where does the book say that?
Well, it doesn't say that exactly, but someplace it has something about a chicken. Good Sabbath! Good Sabbath, children.
Good Sabbath, Papa.
Perchik, this is my oldest daughter.
Good Sabbath.
Good Sabbath.
You have a pleasant daughter.
I have 5 pleasant daughters. This is mine, and this is mine, and this is mine, and this is mine, and this is not mine. Perchik, this is Mottle Camsoil. He's an old friend of the family.
So, you did me a favor and decided to come in.
This is also mine. Go. This is Perchik from Kiev. He's staying this Sabbath with us. He's a teacher. Would you like to take lessons from him?
I'm a good teacher. Really a very good teacher.
I heard once the rabbi who must praise himself has a congregation of 1.
Your daughter has a quick and witty tongue.
The wit she gets from me. As the good book says,
The good book can wait. Get washed.
the tongue she gets from her mother.
Mottle, you'll be eating with us also?
Oh.
Of course, another blessing. Cycle 2 more. Sprinter, you have to go get washed. Get the table.
But Muddle can help me.
All right. Karen, you go too. And you can get washed outside at the well. Tevye, I have something to say to you.
Why should today be different?
I have to tell you that...
Shh! I'm praying.
Laser Wolf wants to see you.
The butcher? About what?
Well, I don't know. Only he says that it is very important.
What could be important? I have nothing for him to slaughter.
But after the Sabbath, see him. Talk to him.
Talk about what? If he's thinking about buying my new milk cow, he can forget it.
Tevye, don't be an ox. The man sent an important message. The least you can do is talk to him.
Talk about what? He wants to buy my new milk cow.
Talk to him.
All right. After the Sabbath, I'll talk to him.
Muddle, Yenta was here.
I saw her.
If they've arranged a match, it may be too late for us.
Don't worry, Zeidel. I found someone that will sell me his used sewing machine. So maybe in a few weeks I could raise up enough money to buy it, and then your father will be impressed with me.
Muddle, a few weeks may be too late.
But what else can we do?
You could ask my father for my hand tonight, now.
Why should he consider me now? I'm only a poor tailor.
And I'm only the daughter of a poor milkman. Just talk to him.
Zeidel, if your father says no, that's it. It's final. He'll yell at me.
Muddle!
I'm just a poor tailor.
Muddle, even a poor tailor is entitled to some happiness.
That's true.
Will you talk to him? Will you talk to him?
All right. Okay, I'll talk to him.
It's late. Where is everybody? Late.
Reb Tevye?
Come in, children. We're lighting the candles.
Reb Tevye?
What is it? Well, Muttle, what is it?
Good Sabbath, Reb Tevye.
Good Sabbath. Good Sabbath. Come, children.
May the Lord protect and defend you. May He always shield you from shame. May you come to be in Israel a shining name. May you be like Ruth and like Esther. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen them, O Lord, and keep them from the stranger's way. May God bless you and grant you long life. May God make you good mothers and wives. And your husbands who will care for you. May the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. Strengthen them, O Lord, with happiness and peace. For hear our Sabbath prayer.
Red vodka. Lizard Wolf, please bring me 2 glasses of your best brandy, huh?
Your best brandy, Reb Laser.
What's the occasion? Are you getting ready for a party?
There might be a party, maybe even a wedding.
A wedding, wonderful. And I'll be happy to make the wedding merry. Lead the dancing and so forth. For a little fee, as usual.
Naturally, your wedding is no wedding without you and your little feet.
Good evening.
We'd like a drink. Sit down, Fietka.
Vodka, schnapps.
Vodka.
Good evening.
Good evening, Tevye.
What are you doing here so early?
He wants to buy my new milk cow. Good evening, Reb Laser.
Tevye, sit down, please. Have a drink.
I won't insult you by saying no.
So, how